The assassination of Charlie Kirk, the 31-year-old CEO and co-founder of Turning Point USA, TPUSA, during a campus speaking engagement at Utah Valley University, UVU, has ignited a firestorm of questions about security lapses, venue choices, and preparedness in the wake of rising political violence in the United States. The fatal incident occurred on Wednesday, September 10th, as Kirk delivered remarks in an open-air courtyard on the Orem, Utah campus. The outdoor amphitheater-style location, situated in the middle of a bowl surrounded by multi-story campus buildings, offered a clear line of sight to anyone perched above. For investigators and security experts, that architectural vulnerability is at the center of growing criticism. How the shooting unfolded. Law enforcement officials say the gunman, later identified as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, fired a single deadly shot with a high-powered Mauser .30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle from the rooftop of a university building more than 100 yards away. The bullet struck Kirk in the throat while he sat under a canopy, fatally wounding him in front of thousands of attendees. Witnesses described scenes of chaos and panic. More than 3,000 people, including students, families, and elderly supporters, had gathered for Kirk's appearance, part of his American Comeback Tour, a series of events designed to energize conservative student groups across the nation. One attendee, Jasmine Martinez, a mother of 5, told ABC News she was stunned by the lack of entry checks. She said, "We walked in and we were kind of surprised because there was like no security check. They didn't check us for IDs, they didn't pat us down, we just walked in." Another attendee, Justin Hicken, echoed the concern, noting that people could easily walk through adjacent buildings into the courtyard without passing security. He said it opens up into a courtyard where the stage or amphitheater drops down like a pit, describing the vulnerability of both the speaker and audience. The arrest of Tyler Robinson. Robinson, the alleged shooter, was arrested Friday night, 2 days after the assassination. According to officials, his father recognized him from surveillance footage and notified police, leading to his capture. Robinson is accused of positioning himself on a rooftop overlooking the amphitheater with clear intent. Authorities say he carried out the attack using a legally purchased rifle, an older imported model. The shooting bore disturbing similarities to the July 13, 2024 assassination attempt on Donald Trump at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where a rooftop shooter also had a direct line of sight to the stage. Police Chief Jeff Long of the UVU Campus Police called the incident a nightmare scenario. He said, "We train for these things, and you think you have things covered. Unfortunately, today we didn't. Because of that, we have this tragic incident." Security planning, or the lack thereof. The university confirmed that Kirk's own private security team coordinated with campus police to plan the event. 6 campus officers, some in plain clothes, were assigned to the venue. Yet critics say this was woefully insufficient for a profile speaker whose appearances frequently draw both large crowds and opposition. Don Mihalik, a retired U.S. Secret Service senior agent and security consultant, said the stage location represented a glaring vulnerability. He said the location of the event was in the middle of a college quad, surrounded by tall buildings which present line-of-sight issues. In this day and age, you cannot not do proper advanced planning for an outdoor event. You must account for rooftops, access control, and surveillance. Robert Boyce, former NYPD chief of detectives, was more blunt. He said for a controversial person speaking, you really can't have it outside. You have to have a door to control who comes in. This way, you know who's inside and can identify anyone acting out of sorts. Both Mihalik and Boyce suggested that standard measures, metal detectors, bag checks, controlled entry points were missing. Witnesses corroborated this, saying no one checked IDs or personal belongings before allowing people to enter the courtyard.
Public access and protests. Another major issue was UVU's decision to make the event open to the general public. Kirk, known for his polarizing rhetoric, has often drawn protests on college campuses. Prior to his UVU appearance, an online petition circulated demanding the school cancel his speech, gathering more than 900 signatures. In response, the university issued a statement reaffirming its commitment to free speech, saying, "As a public institution, UVU upholds First Amendment rights and fosters an environment where ideas, popular or controversial, can be exchanged freely, energetically, and civilly." But critics argue that such openness without tighter security created a recipe for disaster. It's inexplicable to me why a university would let outside people come in and watch this on their campus, Boyce said. That has to be answered. The bigger picture, lessons from Butler. The UVU shooting comes just 2 months after the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, raising urgent questions about whether lessons were learned from Butler. In both cases, shooters exploited rooftops overlooking outdoor venues. Security experts say the similarities are alarming. These incidents show a pattern: high-profile, controversial figures speaking outdoors with little protection from long-range attacks. If rooftop security and surveillance aren't mandatory at such events, we're inviting tragedy, Mihalik warned. Family and institutional responses. Turning Point USA has not publicly commented on the security arrangements or the tragedy, though tributes have poured in from conservative leaders. Former President Trump mourned Kirk in a Truth Social post, calling him great and legendary, and saying no one understood the heart of America's youth better than Charlie. UVU, meanwhile, has faced mounting criticism. While Chief Long defended his team's coordination with Kirk's private security, the school later redirected media to a webpage listing FAQs about the event. It confirmed Kirk had previously spoken at UVU in 2019 without incident, but declined to address why no bag checks or metal detectors were used. The Utah Board of Higher Education issued a broader statement, saying campuses must remain open forums but also safe spaces. We will continue working with state leaders to identify ways to keep our campuses safe and welcoming for everyone, the board said. The human cost. For attendees, the horror of that day will not be forgotten. Witnesses described not only the sound of the gunshot, but the chaos that followed as terrified people, families, children, and elderly attendees scrambled for safety. One student described people tripping over each other and trying to jump over the barricade. Another said the crowd was overwhelmingly supportive of Kirk, making the shooting feel like an attack on the community itself. For Kirk's wife Erica and her supporters, the loss is both personal and political. Kirk built TPUSA into one of the most influential conservative student movements in America. His death leaves a void not just in the organization, but in the broader conservative ecosystem. A turning point for security on campus? The tragedy has sparked a reckoning.